With 2023 products coming out and almost at the end of the year now, but G&G continues on to show more products such as the ARP 3.0, the FAR 556 and 9, and as well to that, the MXC 9 and 45. Well, they haven't stopped, and here we are with the MCP 556. Now let's get into the episode. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another episode on Airsoft Master. Today we're going to bring back something special, is the MCP556 by G&G Armament. If you remember the PCC45 and the MXC 9s, this is the same platform, but now in the M4 setup. Basically, if the M4 and the PCC45 had a baby, this is your result here. But let's go ahead and get into it. Mainly is in the front of it, what we see is the handguard itself. The handguard is an M-LOK rail system, mainly in the 8-inch handguard. As well to that, you're going to have is your M-LOK slots going to be in your 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock positions on here. Your barrel is also going to be standard, being a full metal barrel with being a 14mm counterclockwise thread with the orange tip standard on here. And of course, we can't go wrong with having the front and rear sights as always alongside with your rifle, being easy to put on. As well to that, you'll have your actual Picatinny on the top end of the rail, be able to put any other flashlights or optics or even your setup as well, like laser systems, if you want to. Now let's get into with the receiver. And one thing we know about G&Gs is that the polymer on these guys are really durable and rugged, and they can take a beating no matter what. And as well to that, we know that the rail on top with the receiver, it's all monolithic. More real estate to help put any of your attachments and accessories you want to add on the top, making it easier and less chances of reducing the zero problems. Now, in regards of the lower hand of the receiver, one thing I will give credit to for G&G is they made everything ambidextrous, from the magazine release, your bolt catch, and even your selector plate, meaning that you can use it for either left-handed or right-handed operations. And as well to that, what's another plus side is the sling mount can be changed out to be using 1-point slings, to either going from the left-hand side to the right-hand side by just removing the screws and taking out the pins and swapping to the other side of it. G&G had made it really thoughtful in regards to making it more ambidextrous and control safety-wise for you. But let's go ahead and get to the most important thing I've seen in regards of the gun itself, is that we all know from the PCC45 and MXC 9s is the flared Magwell. The flared Magwell does help out when it comes to reloading and changing out your magazines on the go without even now have to worry about looking at it. It's a lot flared out and a lot easier to even hold it as a grip for it, and it's a good guidance to help reload your magazines. And just like any other M4, you still have your static controls being safe, semi, and full auto. But let's go into the grip itself. One thing that I've seen on this actual MCP556 is the grip itself is more modernized, like you will see on the ARP 3.0s and also the 2.0s. The fact that the angle is a lot more steep in to help control your wrist, at the same time, it's still pretty modern, I would say. And I like the idea of how they have is G&G's insignias all the way through with its branding from the receiver, the rail, and of course on the grip, even on the magazine. Just to know that you can flex on with G&G. On to the internals on the actual MCP556. What do we know about it for sure is that it is the same thing as the MXC 9 and the PCC45. It uses the same G2 gearbox on here, which means it has a quick change system as long as you can disassemble the gun all the way down to the actual gearbox itself to change it out. But the benefit of it as well is the fact that it comes with the ETU and MOSFET system that you'll see on the G2. Mainly the fact that it has is the 3-round burst by holding the actual trigger on semi and hearing the audible beep. Once you do, you'll have is a 3-round burst system. To revert to even the 5-round burst, all you have to do is just flip the switch 3 times or 5 times to basically give it the 5-round burst that is needed. Revert it back, go back to semi, and then you're back to full auto. Now, in regards to the gear set, you will see on here is the AT1 gear set. As well to that, the motor that helps power that is the IFRT25K motor, meaning that it takes any other spring to actually power up this rifle, and as well to that, it has the amount of RPS to basically give it the right speed that it needs when using a LiPo battery. That motor is actually really strong, and I would highly recommend it when it comes to these rifles, and as well to that, so sometimes the motor itself for aftermarket builds. Now let's get into the stock on the MCP556. One thing that for sure is you do have 6 positional slots in the collapsible setup itself in regards to the stock to help adjust it to your right leg, and as well to that, you're able to put your battery inside by basically pulling out the tabs to raise the cheek well, push the button in front, and to help reveal the Tamiya connector that's inside. What's interesting about this is you're able to put 11.1 thousand milliamp LiPo battery to help function the rifle itself. And to put it back, all you need to do is just follow the tracks that are inside to put into the post, like such. Go ahead and push the button inside, and it's locked in, ready to go. As well to that, you don't need to keep it unfolded to help fire the rifle. It'll fire right off even when folded and collapsible in. It does help out when it comes to clearing those corners, and as well as that, getting out of vehicles, just like you would see in the Milsim games. Now we're basically on to the hop-up chamber itself. Now to reveal the hop-up chamber, all you have to do is just pull back your charging handle itself to reveal it, and you still have is your classic G&G rotary style hop-up chamber. Rotary does help out when it comes to fine-tuning those right amount for whatever weight BBs you're going to use. As well to that, to help complement the actual inner barrel itself, you'll see is it has the same length as the PCC45, being around the 255mm inner barrel length. Pretty little simple things that would help out, mainly and as well to that with the range that you have in here. As well to that with G&G, you have no problem with the performance of any other weight BB you'll need. Now this is the part of the video what we actually do is the magazine compatibility on this rifle itself. One thing I do know for certain is that the rifle does feed definitely well with the EPM1 shorts that we basically got in the store. And I gotta admit, it does look pretty good with it. As well to that, as the rifle would come with, is the actual mid-cap magazine that shoots around 105 rounds in it. What makes this interesting is the fact that you're able to actually have a nice follower to shoot all your remaining BBs inside the actual magazine itself. So while we already tested this with the .20 gram BBs that we have on this rifle itself, we noticed on average with this rifle specifically looking around the 359 to 360 FPS. Now it is a little bit hot for basically for the indoors, but again you can change it to basically be more indoors by changing out the spring, as long as you can disassemble the rifle all the way through and getting to the back end of the gearbox to change it out. But it still can be done. So my final thoughts on the MCP556. Personally, I gotta admit, it's a really unique type of rifle itself. I do like that the fact that they're trying to do more innovations with the actual PCC45, but in the M4 caliber, which is again something that everyone will have more convenient on magazine itself. And of course with G&G's reliability, as well to that with the G2, it's a pretty good setup all the way through and through. The durability on the receiver itself, the fact that you have the actual reliability on the performance from G&G, it's a pretty good rifle by itself, and also reminds me of a certain company from a PCC45 I would actually know about more often. But hey, I digress in this situation. But what do you guys think about the MCP556? What do you like about it? Or what other innovations you want to see G&G pull out of nowhere? But for this one, my name's Mike. I'll see you guys in the next episode. And check out Airsoft Master for any other products you want to see out here.
This video is brought to you by Airsoft Master.